So I was talking to a colleague the other day at work, and she said, I really like your communication style. I feel like when you run meetings or you're in groups, we just seem to get things done and get things resolved in ways other people don't get. I thought that was a nice compliment, and I appreciate it. And one of the big reasons why I'm able to do that is I don't let people deflect. Now, deflection in a conversation is when people want to avoid dealing with what you're saying, or when they're listening to respond to what you're saying, not listening to actually understand what it is you're trying to put out there. And there are 4 common ways that people deflect in conversation. The first one is answering a question with a question. You ask them a question, and then they say, well, how about da-da-da? And they try to make it about something that you're not talking about. That's the first deflection. The second is whataboutism. And so instead of asking a question of their own, they'll mirror or pivot that. So you'll talk about one issue, and they say, well, what about them over there? What about her? What about him? That's whataboutism. You've heard about that before, and that's also a deflection. The third is, let me ask you a question. So you'll ask them a question or say something, and then they'll pause. They'll make no effort to address or understand or deal with what you said, and just say, let me ask you a question, and start to have things their way. And the fourth and last one is that they just interrupt you before you can finish talking, because they're listening not to understand you and not to help address what it is you're asking, but to make their own point. And all 4 of those things are deflection. Question with the question, whataboutism, let me ask you, and interrupt. And if you stop all 4 of those routinely, you will get things done and you will get things solved.